these kids with ADD, ADHD, autism, all this kind of stuff, is there a way to help them with this work? So I had her come over because I was like, well, she wanted to go to a sound bath, which I was like, okay, well, that's great. Her mom was like, but I'm afraid of her behavior at the sound bath because she can't sit still. So I have a friend who has a daughter who's adopted. And this little girl, she's in middle school now, but she's always been, she has ADD, ADHD. Her mom was a drug addict. Um, and she has just been very difficult on her mom. But she doesn't live with her full time, so she goes with her other mom. And that is trauma every day for her. So to keep up with what needs to be done, because she's not going to bring her to me. So it's difficult. So that made me think though, these kids with ADD, ADHD, autism, all this kind of stuff, is there a way to help them with this work? So I had her come over because I was like, well, she wanted to go to a sound bath, which I was like, okay, well, that's great. Her mom was like, but I'm afraid of her behavior at the sound bath because she can't sit still. So she came over to the house and I was like, let me do this other work on her real quick. 20 minutes. We'll just try a little session. And she was like, what happened to me? And I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, do you feel bad in any sort of way? Like, what's happening with you? And so she was like, no, I feel, uh, I don't know. Like she was very just kind of calm. So we did that. She's like, I just feel weird. Weird is the word she used.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, well, let's go on and go to the sound bath. And she was out for the whole hour. Like we couldn't wake her up. And it's funny because she doesn't rest well. She was asleep during the whole thing. When she woke up from that, we ventured out because normally I wouldn't go anywhere with the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she was delightful. Delightful. She is like the sweet and so she was like, what happened to this girl? What happened to her? And so now I'm like, okay, I'm going to start a program with the kids because if this is something that can actually just help them calm themselves, then functionality just follows.
Yeah.